Shalom, everybody. This is Priest Joshua Samson. I'm just coming to you to reiterate portions of a dream of powers from the Most High Father. What He is going to give His people, His first fruits, His 144,000 in the end times. He is going to give us powers over air, fire, water, and wind, and all of the earth powers, that are all His powers. And I'm going to touch on portions of dreams that I've had where I've used the air to either subdue people who are inhabited with demonic spirits, or just to move them out of the way because of someone else I was chasing. And the first dream I'm going to go into is in the dream, me and my wife went into an apostate church that we used to attend, and whenever the pastor saw us, he immediately started to try to rebuke us and try to get us out of the church. But whenever he started to talk and whenever he started to try to rebuke us, I just went like this in the air, and I said, "You'll speak no more, false prophet." And his mouth, and I was far away from him, and his mouth just closed, and he could not open his mouth. He could not pull his mouth apart because the air around him was forcing his mouth closed. And this is not the first dream I've had like this. I've had others as well. And he actually fell to the ground because the power was so great around him that he could not even stand. And this led to an evangelism of everyone in the congregation in the church that was there at that time. And every one of these dreams that I've had about the powers of the Most High Father is going to give us in the end times has always been about the evangelism after the powers have been displayed, because they have seen the glory of the Most High Father work through His chosen children. And it has led to a powerful evangelistic event afterwards, where many would accept salvation. They would accept the love and the grace, and would turn away from their sins, and they would live for Yahushua HaMashiach after the powers were displayed. And the other portion of this dream that I had was where I was entering a house where there was a husband and children, and they wouldn't open the door for me because they knew. In every one of my dreams, every single person that is demonically fueled and filled or oppressed runs from me, and they are deathly afraid, because they know the spirit that is inside of me, and the spirit that is working in me will destroy them and will cast them out, and will utterly cast them into darkness and destroy them. And this was the case again. People were running from me. There was a wife and a man and children, and they were running from me. They ran in their house. They locked their doors. And whenever I went to enter in, I knocked, and the door would not open, and all I did was pull on the air where the knob was, just yank it right off, and the door flew off the hinges. And then all the children and the husband who was protecting the wife, they were all demonically filled. All I had to do was just reach out them just like this, like Darth Vader would pick people up and use the force to choke people, and just pick them up and just toss them aside, because I was after the witch who was in the woman. And then she ran out the back door, and they had a glass sliding door that she had closed behind me, and I just got the door and just went like this, and the doors flung open without me even having to touch them. And this dream also had water powers in it, because the witch who was trying to get away had a pool in their backyard. And whenever she was running past the pool, I picked the water up using the air powers, and I picked the water up and threw it on her and knocked her over. It was such a large amount of water, and then subdued the entity. I didn't have to touch her. I didn't have to lay hands on her. All I had to do was look at her and expel the entity using my mouth and just draw it out of her, just like that. And it was like you could reach out and touch the entity. Even though it was in the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh was guiding me and operating in me to reach out and touch that spirit and physically pull it off of her and out of her completely and cast it down and destroy it. Now, I've also had experiences where I've physically done this in my life, and not just in my dreams. I have literally expelled and pulled demons off of my wife. The Jezebel spirit the first time, or when she was literally coughing it up, Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, just had my hand on the back of her neck, and I was just pulling it out of her mouth, just like this, and extracting it and expelling it. Afterwards, pleading the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach over every single member who was in the family, so it would not enter into anybody else. And also expelling the Kundalini spirit, which we have just recently done here within the past couple weeks. We were fasting and praying for deliverance for her, and Father, I was in my prayer closet, and Father told me to go get her. It was time. He had loosened the grips of the enemy on her. And this spirit wraps around the small of your back and your spinal cord, where it is quite well hidden. And the Father told me to grab a hold of it. She had to get prostrate down on her knees and rebuke the spirit, and he would give me the ability to just literally pull this creature, this snake, this serpent, off of the small of her back and out, and expel it in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, and also plead the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach over everyone in the house, so that they would not be subject to it wanting to find another host immediately. Now, these are just a few experiences and dreams that I've had, and also physical encounters. And this is just a small taste of the power that the Most High Father is going to give his end time 144,000, his chosen elect children, to operate in, to fight and destroy and crush the enemy utterly, throw him out into darkness, do away with him completely. Anyway, I hope this has blessed everyone who's watched this. I pray that you're blessed in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Shalom, and have a good day.